Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. Baby Driver is the newest movie directed by Edgar Wright, who has brought us such movies as Scott Pilgrim and of course the Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, At World's End and Hot Fuzz. And I think it's fair to say really he's not made a bad movie yet, this guy, and he has continued that trend here with this movie, Baby Driver. And it stars Ansel Elgort, Jon Bernthal, Jon Hamm, Elijah Gonzalez, Lily James, and Kevin Spacey. And it tells the story of Baby, who we get to learn reasonably early on that was in a car accident when he was young. And as a result of that car accident, he's got like a constant ringing in his ears. So he plays music basically all the time to drown out the ringing in his ears. And he's got deep affection for music. And we also learned fairly early on that he is the driver for Kevin Spacey's criminal gang. And the reason he is he tried to steal one of Kevin Spacey's cars years before, and so rather than kill him, Kevin Spacey basically said, "Right, you owe me. You're my driver now. I'll let you know when you're finished." So he doesn't have a choice really. He's got to be the driver. So yeah, we see fairly early on that he's involved in like a heist. He's the driver. It's pretty much the first thing that we see. Banging soundtrack, amazing driving stunts, humour thrown in, and it's like a massively pounding start to the movie, and it's fab. It's great. And then that job's over. He goes back to his normal life. He's just a normal lad. He loves music. He mixes tapes. He doesn't belong in this underworld. He's very clear that he doesn't belong. He's only doing it because he has to. And he meets Deborah, played by Lily James, who is a waitress at his local diner. And she's very musical too. And he falls for her very quickly, and vice versa. But all in the background is all this criminal stuff that's going on. He's still got jobs to do for Kevin Spacey's gang. But also, he thinks he's out. He does one job. He does another job with Kevin Spacey. And he thinks he's done then, because Kevin Spacey says, "That's it, you've done." But as it turns out, he's not done. And he brings him in for one final job, Kevin Spacey. But he really wants out, this kid. And he wants to basically spend the rest of his life with Lily James, Deborah's character. It's kind of the story that we get here. Needless to say, I absolutely, really thoroughly enjoyed this. And one of the main reasons I enjoyed this is it's an original piece of work. It's directed really well, really snappy, brilliant soundtrack, casting choices that make sense for the most part, and it's just a delight to watch something really fresh and new. And they've given us a really iconic, cool screen character in regards to a Baby, who I suspect we're going to see a bit more of, because it wouldn't surprise me, and I've heard that they are going to be already wanting sequels of this. Do I have any negatives for this movie? Probably a couple of niggles more than negatives, really, and they'd be Jamie Foxx's character. Well, three niggles. Jamie Foxx's character seemed a little bit cliched. Jon Bernthal's not in it enough, and the love story, I think, is a little tiny bit underdeveloped. Could have done with a little, maybe another 5-10 minutes into the movie, developing that love story a little bit. It almost seemed like, she's willing to give up everything for him, but it just kind of felt like, really? They've only been on a few dates. But I'm really nitpicking there, because I have to say I really enjoyed this movie. You're glued to it. Everything he does in this movie, and you can almost see like it almost feels like he's been practicing up to this point. It does really well. The humour that's sprinkled in there is really good. The characters are, for the most part, written really well. The action and the driving is very good. It's not just driving; there is on foot action as well. So I can't really give any what you could consider serious complaints to this movie. Another thing I really enjoyed was the arc for some of the characters, especially Kevin Spacey. We got a nice character arc for him that I didn't expect. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be a really one-dimensional character, and it didn't turn out to be that way, which I really appreciated. Um, the ending took me by surprise. I didn't expect the ending that we got, which pleasantly surprised me, I have to say. And this film, throughout the whole thing, it just surprised me and pleased me, and really, really had a lot of fun watching this movie. Is it going to win any major awards? Probably not, but it's absolutely put Edgar Wright on the map. Not that I think he needed to be because of his prior work, but you know, sometimes how Hollywood works, you've got to prove yourself. Well, he has with this, absolutely, and he's proved he can direct in style, and is almost like a British Tarantino, you could say. You know, he's got his own slick style. He knows how to direct action. He knows how to write characters. He knows how to put the right amounts of humour in there. And he's given us a character, like I say, Baby, who's portrayed by Ansel Elgort really well. Ultra cool. I really don't know anything about this actor because I've not watched the Divergent movies, and I don't recall seeing him in anything really that has caught my attention. But he's going to be a superstar. This kid, he's an excellent. He gives an excellent performance, really iconic. So I strongly recommend that you go and see this movie. I do highly recommend it. There's only a couple of niggles that I've got with it, and they really are just that. Other than that, it's a really high quality movie, and it deserves to be seen.